How does a 30-year-old entrepreneur start a $20,000 a month trash removal business, all from roots within the vehicle wrapping industry?
In the 7 months, we're rounding up to 80,000 in revenue already.
Oh, wow.
It's about proving it. Nobody's gonna believe in you because you haven't done it. Like for me, we get calls all the time. First month we did 1,900 bucks. We were so thrilled. I mean,
So tell me a little bit about what you got going on here.
so we have 2,400 main square feet here, and then we've added on about 8,000 square feet in the back. A total of 20 dumpsters, and that's what we started with.
We're gonna check out this customer success here with our truck in the background. Stay tuned here with Quality Trucking Equipment to find out this customer success. Let's jump right into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here in Martinsville, Indiana. We're here with a previous customer of ours who's carved a huge name for himself in the waste removal industry here in Indiana. Today I'm here with Deric with Yelo Dumpster. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Beautiful truck, beautiful shop.
Thank you.
So let's jump into it. Tell us a little bit about, your roots, how you got started in the vehicle wrap industry and eventually, transformed that all the way into a Hooklift truck.
Yeah, absolutely. So started in the vehicle wrap industry about 13 years ago. Just doing some vinyl decals and stickers for cars. If you want to come in the shop, I'll show you around. We'll take a look at what we do here at DG Graphics.
Most definitely.
We'll get to Yelo Dumpsters.
Perfect.
So we added on last year. So we have 2,400 main square feet here, and then we've added on about 8,000 square feet in the back.
Very nice.
So come on in. So this is DG Graphics. This is going to be our showroom. And of course, we have to have our Yelo Dumpster advertisement here.
That's a really nice advertisement. I like that.
So this is kind of where all the customers hang out. The receptionist sits up front here, and then we'll bring you to the back. Our designers, our operations manager, how our production rolls, and where we install the vehicles.
Perfect. Let's see it.
All right, so we just expanded. This is a little empty, but we got our full-time wrap designer, operations manager hanging out. This is kind of where our office is building up. And then we'll lead into here. This is our production facility back here. So we print all of our wraps in-house, all the vinyl, all the wall wraps, everything that we do is printed here. We laminate it over here. And then we have some cutters that will read registration marks. It knows exactly where everything is on the print, and it'll actually cut it all out for us. So
this is really impressive.
Yeah, thank you. And then obviously we do big wall wraps like this behind us here.
Vehicle wraps started?
Yeah, so before we added on, this was actually our installation bay. This is where we installed all the vehicles. This print room was slammed into that last room that you saw in there.
Okay.
So with the addition to the building, we've grown tremendously. We have a lot more room for our production area here, and our installers love it. We have a ton more room back here for the install bay. So once it finishes up here, it's onto the production table, and then it gets staged for out here. You come on through here. This is our addition that we added on last year.
Yeah, this is a beautiful addition. Lots and lots of square foot in here for sure.
Thank you. Really bright. So now we can fit in full-length semis into the bay. We have 24-foot ceilings back here. This is where we install all the vehicles. So this is where we do all the vehicle wraps, all the vehicle graphics, and now our upfitting services where we do all the shelving for our fleet clients. So we have a lot of clients that we do several vehicles for take Pristine Plumbing, for instance. They have several vans that we wrap every year for them. And now we do all their upfitting, all their shelving, so they have places to put all the PVC connections and stuff like that. So now we're a one-stop shop for the commercial fleet industry, and that's what we do in here. Now, if you look up here, this is what I call DG HQ. This is our headquarters up here. So
headquarters, that's where all the magic happens.
Yeah, that's where all the magic happens. So we've added all these offices up here for more of the back side of the business. You know, this is where business deals go down. This is where the corporate side of things are. And then we'll take you out back, and that's what you're most interested in.
Yeah, we'll show you can take a look at your yard here.
Yeah,
what you got going on. It's really, really interesting.
All right, so this is obviously what we've been talking about.
Yeah,
this is where...
here's the Kenworth T280.
Yep.
We sold this to you back in February, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
How has this truck been treating you, Deric?
It's been awesome. Yeah, no complaints. It's been awesome since day one. It's done everything we've needed to do and more. It makes our job super easy. Whenever I was doing my research and looking into the dumpster business and which way I wanted to go, was it a trailer? Was it a used truck? What size of truck? It really boiled down to this truck. We wanted to be under CDL.
Right.
We wanted to have a good lift capacity. We wanted to have a good lift manufacturer as it is.
And how do you feel about the Swaploader lift, the SL214 that's paired with here?
Love it. We absolutely love it. It's never given us a problem.
It lifts everything you throw at it, right?
Lift everything we throw at it. We have actually lifted 20,000 pounds with it, which is what it's rated for. And I can guarantee that we could probably go more. Yeah,
Swaploader builds a great product. That's why we partnered with them, and they're one of our main distributors here at Quality Trucking Equipment.
Yep.
Glad to hear that it's done such a good job for you.
Absolutely. And other than that, the Kenworths have been great. Like I said, we wanted to be under CDL. We looked at several used trucks, and there's nothing wrong with the used truck. It's just when we went into our business, we wanted to make sure that we had a good truck manufacturer, that we had a warranty, that we had somebody we could call if something was wrong, that we had somebody that there was just parts going to be available, and that's obviously why we chose you.
And that's one of the best things about going with a new truck, obviously, is you have that peace of mind that if anything does go wrong, you'll have full warranty. You have warranty on the Kenworth itself, you have warranty on the Hooklift itself, and as well as any craftsmanship from Quality Trucking Equipment. So you're covered in 3 different ways. So obviously, truck's all done up, looks beautiful, yellow dumpster logos.
Yep. So obviously full wrap because we know a guy.
Yeah.
So obviously we took it to the DG shop here. My installers crushed it. We went on obviously a full yellow wrap because that is our branding, is black and yellow. We wanted to stand out from every other dumpster truck there is.
You're most definitely standing out.
Yeah.
With the yellow.
Most all of them are just white with logos, and that's just not what we are. We've even changed out the Swaploader logo to match our black and yellow because
that's a really unique feature.
Yeah. Everything is branding for us.
All right, Deric, so you've always been killing it. You know, you've only been in business for 7 months.
Yep.
You know, can you give me a breakdown of what your profits look like, some nets?
Yeah, so in the 7 months, we're rounding up to 80,000 in revenue already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which has been awesome. The first month we did 1,900 bucks. We were so thrilled. I mean, a brand new business coming out of the gate, we were still able to do 2 grand. Some people are like, oh, that's nothing. True, but we were a baby. We were brand new.
Right. And most companies starting out, you know, aren't profitable, right?
Correct. And now we're 7 months in and we're doing 20,000 a month. So.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
Yeah,
you know, it's not hard to see. I mean, the branding, the yellow dumpster, it's all goes hand in hand with your brand awareness.
Absolutely.
You guys are just killing it.
Yes,
that's
thank
awesome.
you.
So yeah, show me a little bit more. This is your yard here.
So this is our yard. Like I said, I do storage. So this is my boat and RV storage lot, which obviously came in handy for when we started dumpsters because we needed a place for the dumpsters.
Right.
So luckily, you only get to see 5 dumpsters because we don't want all of our dumpsters here.
You don't even want any dumpsters
here.
No,
we don't want any at all. Most of the time, honestly, 5 is about the max that we ever have in our possession. Typically, we're always out. We have a total of 20 dumpsters, and that's what we started with. So from day one.
And for the viewers, you started with 20 dumpsters.
Yep.
Can you tell them a little about where you got the dumpsters?
Oh, absolutely. Mack Corporation. I mean, they're the best dumpster manufacturer there is.
Yeah, we've here at Quality Truck, we work with Mack Corporation as well. They build a really quality dumpster.
Absolutely.
Really great to work with. As you can see, Deric's got 5 of them here in the lot.
Yeah, so we have 20 all together, and Raider at Mack was just awesome. So like we got together on one of the Facebook groups and the dumpster groups. He reached out. We had some conversations. I had conversations with other guys, but the way he just came at me with the information and how he treated me, came up to the Indianapolis factory, did a whole tour, showed me how everything was built.
So you got to go through and see all the dumpsters being built there?
Got to physically touch them, see how they're built. Awesome family.
Yeah, that's a really, really cool experience. Yeah. How long did it take for you to get all 20 dumpsters here?
All 20 dumpsters from the start of the order to when I had them all in my possession was 4 weeks.
4 weeks? Yeah, that's pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was super quick. You know, if you're going to order dumpsters like we did, we ordered in, January, so we had them by spring. I actually got possession of the hook truck, and I think it was like a week or 2 later that my dumpsters were done and ready to come in. Awesome. And Mack Corporation also offers delivery, which helped out. So I grabbed a couple. They brought me a couple. Again, solid family-owned company. So it's like I run DG,
Right.
Not everybody, like, they're not just customers. Like, they're friends. We like to help, and that's how they act. And that's another reason why I chose you guys is when I got that vibe when I called Quality Truck about a truck. Yeah. Hey, I don't know anything about this. I need to know the nuts and bolts. And you just laid it all out. You know what I mean?
And I love to, supply the customers with as much information as I can. So, they're jumping into it. It's a startup just like yourself. I want them to be fully prepared to jump into this, acquire the truck, acquire the dumpsters, and start making money the very next day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that helped us a lot because we didn't know what kind of hook we needed. We didn't know what kind of lift capacity we needed. We didn't know the industry standards. We were doing all the research, but to have a professional like you guys and like a professional like Raider at Mack, I mean, it was like the perfect combo. We were able to come out swinging with 20 dumpsters and a truck that could handle everything that we were going to put to it.
Yeah. All right, Deric, so you showed us a little bit around your shop. You showed us your yard here. Talked about the dumpsters. Let's go see how you actually make money with this rig.
Sounds good.
Let's jump into it.
All right.
All right, so we're in the truck here.
Yep, we're gonna load up a can and take it out to a customer.
Perfect. What are the advantages? What's an advantage for you? Why did you go with the Hooklift truck over, say, a trailer setup or a cable roll off?
Well, one thing is I'm getting ready to show you is I'm not going to get out of the truck when I load this up here. I'm gonna easily back up to it. I'm gonna lift it up, and I'm gonna be on my way. So
Okay.
when I researched this, there was actually a great video online of a Hooklift truck next to a cable pull truck.
I think I know the video you're talking about.
And they were showing that the Hooklift truck picked up a can, loaded it, unloaded it twice before the cable truck even picked it up and dropped it once.
Yeah. So efficiency-wise, that's kind of what drew you to the Hooklift.
Correct. My plan with this business is to scale, to, you know, hire employees, hire drivers, and when I look at those processes, I want to make it as easy as possible for my driver, you know.
And speaking of driver, you started off as pretty much, you know, an owner-operator. You were in the truck from day one, right? Correct.
I was in the truck for about 2 months, and then I put in my full-time driver. So from the day I started, like I said, my goal was to put a driver in place as fast as I could. And so every time I got in the truck, I would document the processes that it would take to load a can, unload a can, to safely drive out from under the can without letting the wheels of the dumpster roll, you know, on the customer's driveway or property. And I started to document this whole process. That way, when it came time to hiring a driver, I had the standards set. I had the expectations set,
right,
to where I could train my driver as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
And how long have you had the driver now?
5 months.
Would you say that has helped scale your business?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we've done so much more with the driver because
it allows you to sit back and do more of the operations side of thing, right?
Yeah, more advertising, more networking, more the logistical things. I mean, he drives 8 hours a day, so he has a full 40-hour schedule with dropping and delivering and dumping, and so we're full time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where are we heading now?
We're going to be headed to a customer's location that needed a drop for today. He ordered it yesterday, so we can always get it same day or next day is our goal. So
you said we got to get gas. Tell me a little bit about that. Is that part of your business model, or would you one day want to have a fueling station at your facility?
Oh, 100%. The goal is to actually, we've already been looking into it just recently. Started to get quotes on getting a fuel tank put on our property because, you know, this job is a lot of driving. This truck, if it's not driving, we're not making any money.
Right.
But we do use a lot of fuel.
Tell me a little bit about your dumpsters. We just got fuel. Is any of that stuff wrapped up into the fees that you charge your customers?
Yeah, so the way that we build out our pricing does account for the fuel that it takes to get, you know, to and from the landfill and within our radius. That way we can cover our costs, you know.
In your area here in Indiana, what is your radius?
So included in our rentals is a 30-mile radius from our location, and then everything after that is just billed on a $5 per mile, which is basically, you know, $250 there, $250 back, just to cover the fuel costs and the time.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand, you know, well, it's only 40 miles, but 40 miles turns into, you know, an hour drive one way.
Yeah, that can take a big portion of the day.
Yeah.
What's a good week look like for Yelo Dumpster?
Honestly, on average, we stay 60 to 75% rented out week after week. We've had about 4 total weeks throughout the 7-month history of the business that we've been completely booked out, which is awesome and not awesome because, you know, we were taking phone calls. We're like, hey, we don't have any cans, which I don't actually like that. I would rather have a can. I would rather have something delivered.
That's where you need to scale up. What would you say some of your biggest successes are to getting where you're at today?
I would say getting all the rentals and the advertisement that we're getting is really going to be contributed to Facebook, social media, as well as we put a good amount of money into Google Ads. So
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the Google Ads?
Yeah, so we do Google targeted ads, and we spend, I think it's $750 a month into targeted ads because, you know, the number one thing that the customer is doing when they need a dumpster is dumpsters near me.
Exactly.
Or dumpster rental or whatever.
Typically, the person who pops up the first is who's going to get the business, right?
That's just the dumpster world. That's how it is. We're all a commodity. We all do the same exact thing. We have metal boxes. People put trash in. Where we differentiate ourselves is, you know, our branding, our clean dumpsters, our uniforms. So my guys, my drivers wear this polo shirt tucked in with jeans and a belt.
Typically, you won't see that a lot. Most of your guys out there, like your bigger companies, can get out of the truck looking like a stuff ball, and
they get out.
Dumpsters aren't dirty. Leaving residue or trash on your driveway. So
right. And
that definitely separates, you know, yourself from those kind of guys when you can expect and you're going to get, you know, a clean delivery with clean customer service.
That's a big push for us. Is, you know, we're not a normal dumpster company. We're not showing up with a rusted box that's gonna leave rust marks, or it's not gonna stink. It's not gonna be nasty. Like, this is an asset for us, and we're proud of it. So we wash our dumpsters. So if our
wash your dumpsters after every
dump, yep. So if our dumpster, if we pick it up and it's all nasty, it doesn't go to a customer's location. It gets washed beforehand.
Yeah, that's above and beyond, Deric.
Absolutely. And you know, we keep our truck washed as part of our weekly maintenance for our driver. It's his responsibility that, you know, at the end of the week, the truck is prepared and ready to be washed for the next week. So we're pulling up to the dump, or for the drop off here. So
okay, yeah, this is a nice neighborhood. I definitely, you know, talking about clean dumpsters. People in, you know, these types of subdivisions don't want you pulling up in some hunk of junk,
right?
And that's really where the Kenworth sets itself apart.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the benefits of going with a new truck.
Absolutely. Pulling up in a neighborhood with a nice new Kenworth like this and pretty boxes that are clean and don't stink it's part of our image, part of our reputation. So one of our core values at DG Graphics and Yelo Dumpsters is image is everything. And what that means is, you know, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So the perception that we're showing to the world with our clean trucks and our clean dumpsters and our uniform speaks volumes to how we operate our business. Mm-hmm. And, you know, because nobody wants, you know, like on the vehicle wrap side of things for DG Graphics, nobody wants to hire a branding company that doesn't have good branding. Nobody wants to hire a dumpster company that has nasty cans.
No, not at all. People expect a certain type of quality when bringing a dumpster to their property. You know, as we blow through some cherry trees or whatever those are.
I love those low-hanging limbs.
Fair warning, if you are getting a Hooklift truck, they are quite tall.
So before we head out here, we always put a yard sign out. Just kind of lets the customers know, or the neighbors know.
Yeah, that's new. That's a really good marketing tactic.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to put it. We don't like put it right outside their driveway, but you know, we're going to put it right down here.
Obviously, you know, the dumpster itself sticks out.
Right.
You know, other people in this subdivision are going to drive by and see it.
Absolutely.
And it could potentially lead to another dumpster sale.
We get a lot of dumpster sales like that. A lot of times people call us and be like, "Hey, my neighbor has a yellow dumpster. I want a yellow dumpster." And we're like, "We love to hear it."
Exactly.
We'll grab one of these.
Yes, sir.
Yellow dumpster.
Here.
We make notepads. We had notepads made with yellow dumpsters on it. We made pins with yellow dumpsters on it. And because somebody might not need our service now, but I want that family that puts the notepad on their kitchen counter and writes their grocery list, or like, oh, we need milk, so they write it down. I want them to use a yellow dumpster pin, and I want them to use the yellow dumpster
pad. When that time comes,
they'll always remember yellow dumpsters.
Exactly.
And not just because I own a graphics business. So there, you know, every guy out here that has a dumpster business can go get a vehicle wrap, can deck their dumpsters out. You know, yes, I do have an edge because I own the graphics business, but it doesn't mean I don't have costs associated with it.
Most definitely.
I don't pay retail, but I still pay the material, the labor hours, all that stuff. Not only that, but the opportunity cost of, you know, producing my own stuff rather than producing a customer's item. You know, so technically the opportunity cost is the same as retail, because I could be producing a customer's wrap, whereas I'm scheduling 2 days to wrap my own truck, you know, for my guys to wrap. So it still costs me money, but I still make that investment. You want to find like where you want to focus and where you want your niche to be. So one thing I learned through my other businesses is you don't want to say yes to every job. You don't want every job. You want to take the jobs that make you the most profitable, and they're the easiest to do. So I'm not going to take a dumpster job that's 2 hours away. It's not efficient. I don't make any money.
Yep.
So what I recommend to everybody and what I've done is I network. I network with the other guys in my state. To be honest, there are going to be some guys that don't want to network with you. They're going to see you as competition. They don't want you to succeed. That's fine, because there are people out there that want to work together. So I got an awesome guy just north of Indy. So he does like the north side is what we call it. And then he does Indy. So when I get a call in that area, I'm like, hey, you know, give Funky Junk a call. I don't service that area.
And I'm sure that works vice versa, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He sent me plenty of jobs, you know, in Martinsville, because he gets calls from Martinsville. So, you know, again, we're all doing Google, we're all marketing, we're all overlapping. When he gets a call from Martinsville, could he bring it here? Yes. Does he want to drive, you know, an hour out of his way? No, because now he's got an ally. I'm his ally down here, so I take care of him. I take care of his client just as he would. And the same respect goes the same way.
You know, not all dumpster companies, you know, are butting heads against each other.
No.
We can really help each other out. I know through all the forums and Facebook groups that we're on, everybody kind of connects together to bounce ideas off of each other.
Absolutely.
Obviously, getting started, that's kind of where you found all the information you were looking for, right?
Yep.
Was some of the forums,
Absolutely.
looking at other people in the junk and refuse industry.
Yeah, I straight up
kind of basing all this off of that, right?
I just asked the question, and if somebody wants to be rude and give me a stupid answer, I'm like, okay. Well, what I've learned throughout my other businesses is there is somebody that wants to take you down. There is somebody that doesn't support you, and there is somebody that wants you to fail. That doesn't matter to me. I could care less. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm in competition with myself.
Okay.
How do I wake up and be better every single day and better myself?
You have a lot of strong topics there, a lot of strong talking points that you know, a lot of people might not have. Do you have anyone, you know, along the way that was a mentor to you that helped you, you know, with some of these viewpoints that you have?
Yeah. So recently, within the last 2 years, I started hiring business coaches. So I learned a lot of my own, a lot of failures. Like, you know, yes, you see the success, you see the DG graphics business, you know, you see the storage, you see the properties. I didn't always win. There were so many failures along the way. There was so much lost money along the way.
Can you elaborate on some of your biggest failures?
Yeah. My biggest failure was I made a business deal in 2022, and it was a terrible business deal. I tried to purchase a business, and it ended in a huge lawsuit, lost tons of money. But it was a learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't go to college, but I paid tuition that year, and I learned so much. It made me better at business. It made me better at communications. It made me better at watching things. You know, what to look out for.
I mean, you learn more at the bottom than you ever will at the top.
100%.
So you got to take those lessons and roll with the punches.
100%.
And, you know, take those life lessons and roll with it to be better and make your business better and treat the customers better at the end of the day.
I listened to a podcast that said, you know, because I'm really big on the entrepreneur podcast stuff. This guy said that they have a group, and if you haven't ever been sued, ever almost went bankrupt, and never made $1 million, you can't be stood at their table, because all successful people have been at a low point in their life. They have been through a failed business. They've been through, you know, almost going bankrupt. They've been through something like that, and it's only just going to make you stronger. It's going to make you learn. You know.
Well, you definitely have the entrepreneurial spirit. You know, I see it in all the things that you do, just from being with you today. How you've been able to scale your, you know, vehicle wrap business into getting a brand new Hooklift truck. Yeah. Running 20 bins and being able to be profitable in your first 6 months. I mean, that's amazing. And the people that are watching this video definitely can take that in stride and roll with that.
I didn't know 100% that this was going to work. Mm-hmm. Nobody does.
So what did you rely on? You know, what gave you faith?
I relied on knowing that I'm not going to stop at failure. I'm not. I failed before, so it doesn't scare me. I mean, it would suck to fail, but if I fail, you'll just learn. It's not the end of the world. You just learn and you do something different, right? So I've failed before. I knew that going into this, there's a need for waste hauling. There's a need for waste. Waste is never going to go away.
No, sir.
Waste is a recession-proof industry because there's always trash, right? Right. So again, it goes back to my marketing techniques and what I see in any business, whether it's my wrap business, my storage business, my trash hauling business. None of those matter. The product doesn't matter. What matters is the customer service, the value add to the client, right? So in the event of you know, an economic downturn, waste still needs to be hauled.
Yeah, waste is never going away.
Right.
You know, you'll always have business. There'll always be trash. There'll always be someone that needs to have a clean out or their waste hauled away.
So that's the other thing. You know, you go in and you invest in a hook truck, or you invest in all these dumpsters, and you're going to go this route. Don't stop when it gets hard. If I would have stopped the first 3 months in business because I only did $2,000, then I did $8,000, and I've been like, man, this isn't making me any money. Well, that's because I didn't give it enough time. I didn't put any effort into it. And now here we are 7 months in, and we do $20,000 a month. You know, that's only 7 months in.
Right.
Wait till we get to next year.
Exactly. What do you think you have to do? Obviously, you're 6 months in and you're profitable with Yelo Dumpster. What do you think you have to do to scale in the next, you know, year to get to where you want to be?
So in the next year, where I want to be is I want to add another hook truck, and I'm going to add 20 to 30 more cans.
If you're in the market for another Hooklift truck, be sure to check us out at the bottom link here, www.qualitytruckandequipment.com.
Absolutely.
You know, what would having a second truck do for Yelo Dumpster?
Well, it increases our capacity to, you know, to service our clients faster. You know, we offer same day delivery, which I'm sure most everybody does, but we mean it. So we want to be, when you call us and you say, hey, when can we get a dumpster? And we're like, today. We still make that happen because we just move around the route if we have to.
Right. No one wants to wait around for a dumpster when they're in the middle of a project.
Typically, when they're calling for a dumpster, it's because they needed it the day before and they just forgot to order it, or you know what I mean? So we want to be able to provide them as fast service as possible. So for me, it's worth the investment on another truck to be able to provide. Again, it's all about value add to my customers. The reason that they're choosing me is because I can get it to them faster. My cans are cleaner, my trucks are nicer, and the service is better.
Can you take me through, typically from start to finish, customer calls you all the way through the process of the dumpster round?
Yeah, so customer calls and they're usually like, hey, I need to get a price, and I just roll right into, do you know what size you're looking for, what kind of project you got going on. I try to help and educate the customer. Again, I'm trying to add that value. I'm not like, hey, what do you want? What can I bring you? Like, you know what I mean?
Most of the times they don't know what they want.
Right, most of the times they don't know what they want. They just know that I have a metal box that they can put trash in, and I'm the guy, right? So my job is not to just give them a dumpster. My job is to educate them on what size dumpster they need.
And you have a couple different variations of size.
Yep. So we have the 10-yard, then we have the 17-yard, and the 22-yard, all for trash and debris. And then we have our 7-yard, which is our dirt, rock, and concrete dumpster.
What would you say, on average, your best-selling yardage can is?
Oh, man, on average, I would say my 10s and 17s are my most popular size. When I started and I did my business plan and my projections, I was like, 22 is going to have the most 22 cans a can. And, like, that's what I targeted. So I bought 10 22s, and then I bought 6 of the 17s, 2 10s, 2 7s, and then boom, I'm always out of stock of 17s, 10s.
We have talked about the marketing plan a little bit. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, where you first started and where you are now?
I literally went into this business to be a commercial dumpster company, like servicing contractors and commercial companies.
I think a lot of guys do have that thought that they're going to do that when they first start out.
They do.
And that might not necessarily be the case.
No, yeah. So my business immediately turned into a residential dumpster service. And at first I was like, I don't know if I want these clients. Like I thought I wanted to be that commercial contractor. But then what I quickly realized is I was like, this is the niche that I'm really excited to be into.
You talked about a little bit, you just recently hired a driver for this truck. You're not in it every day anymore.
Nope.
Tell me a little bit about the hiring process and some of the things you look at when you're hiring a driver for this truck.
So I knew going right in that I had to create some processes and systems to scale. And when I looked for a driver, I looked for somebody that had, the customer in mind, the intentions of growth. They had growth in their mindset. They weren't just out looking to drive a truck and sling some dumpsters. I went through several interviews, and tons of people came to me and they were like, yeah, I've been driving a dumpster truck for so many years. I got Class A CDLs. I got this and that and this and that. But they weren't the correct person for Yelo dumpsters. They didn't give off that caring vibe. They didn't give off that personal touch. And that's what I look for.
Right. You want someone that is going to care for the equipment just like you would yourself when you're in it.
Right.
It's a big startup cost, and you don't want someone getting in here and trashing the truck up, leaving it dirty, and representing Yelo Dumpster as that type of a company. Next pickup, obviously picking up the Yelo Dumpster here for one of Deric's customers. Tell me a little bit about your maintenance program, schedule, what you've all done in the 8 months that you've owned the truck.
So not a lot of maintenance so far. A couple of oil changes, fluids, filters, all that stuff, the typical standard service that you're supposed to have. We take it to a local Kenworth dealer. They're actually an awesome client of DG, so we do all of Palmer Trucks work. So all their vehicle wraps, all their signage and everything.
Oh, perfect.
For me, the risk and reward the new truck's more expensive, the payment's higher, but obviously all trucks can have issues, but at the same time, that's...
a new truck's not susceptible to that either.
But there's a very low percentage chance that that's going to happen with a brand new truck. And typically it's going to be taken care of. So,
well, that's the beauty of the warranty, right?
Right, exactly. And so for me, that's more valuable. I would rather spend a little bit more on a payment and have less maintenance and less of those random things breaking out of 10 years of wear and tear. To keep my truck on the road.
All you guys out there that are thinking going new or used, that's just another input from a customer that's out here making money every day.
Also, to go with that fact, on the financing side, it's not just, when you look at a used and a new truck, yeah, it may be cheaper, but financing is harder to get on a used vehicle.
Most definitely.
Especially on a used truck like this. The bank knows that these are ragged out and people beat these things up.
Not a lot of people are like you that take care of their equipment. I mean, people are out here beating the guts out of these
they're hiring guys. I mean, you see a lot of these.
They'll just put anybody in there and let them
Waste
rip.
management, you know, people like that, they just put anybody in. Those trucks are not driven with care. So the bank knows that. And when the bank loans you money, they're investing in your asset, because at the end of the day, if you can't make the payment, the bank's got to be able to sell it and make their money back. Pretty much came up with a projection, came up with a business plan of like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is why I'm going to do it. Got all the pricing for all the dumpsters, all, you know, the truck, got with you, got all the specs. And when the bank sees that you have a plan, that you have projections, that you have everything teed out, you know, they take it to their board, they go through all the data, they come back with the numbers, and if it works, then you go with it. If it doesn't work, then you got to change some things up.
Even a business plan really helps the whole process.
Yeah, what banks don't like is when you're like, hey, I need $200,000 to buy a truck. For what? What are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to run some dumpsters. How many do you think you can do? We can do a lot. They don't like that stuff. So you gotta at least do some research and do some projections on what you think's possible. Don't be crazy and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do 10,000 dumpsters a month. Be real. They also know that it's a startup. They also know that there's risk. One big thing, you get a bank that tells you no, just go to the next bank. There is somebody that will tell you yes. Not all banks like all deals. I have several banks that I work with, and I have some banks that hate real estate, which just blows my mind. But
and a Hooklift truck is definitely a specialized piece of equipment. A lot of banks don't really even know about a Hooklift truck. They're not familiar with them. So if one bank does shoot you down, definitely it's worth getting a second opinion, going to get 100%. Another quote, get a couple different quotes from a couple different banks.
Absolutely. And just know that, you know, startups are hard. Banks, that's a big risk for a bank if you have no experience, you have no proof, you know. Don't take it as, you know, don't get upset and think, oh, they don't believe in me. Well, they don't, because you haven't proved anything, which is okay. Because that's what entrepreneurship's all about. It's about proving it. Nobody's going to believe in you because you haven't done it. You've got to get out there. You've got to do it. You got to show it. I actually didn't tell anybody I was going to start a dumpster business. My wife knew. We talked about it.
It's all just a surprise.
Now, my family, nobody knew. And we were like, hey, guess what? We do dumpsters. And they're like, what?
Well, what does your family think of this whole operation now?
Oh, they love it. You know, my wife's family is super supportive. They've rented dumpsters off of us already. Her extended family continues to rent dumpsters off us. So they let us put yard signs in the yard. They're always sharing our Facebook posts. So super supportive. But at the end of the day, just don't get discouraged if people don't support you, and just don't worry about it. Just be you and go out there, take the risk. If this is what you want to do, get into it. All right, Jake, come on. This is where the deals go down.
Awesome. Very nice office, Deric.
Thank you.
So we touched a little bit on some of your software that you use with the dumpster truck there. Fill us in, elaborate on that, and what it's been like using the service that you do use.
We jumped into DRS right out of the gate. Nice. Yeah, as soon as we got into dumpsters, we wanted a software to track the dumpsters, do online booking, create a website, everything like that. Got on the dumpster forums, looked at a couple ones. I like DRS. They were super easy to work with, threw me through a demo. It was super cool. It's not that expensive. In my opinion, software, automation, stuff like that, like makes or breaks a business, in my opinion. You want to come out to the customer like you're already an established, well-developed business. So when you have software and you have all these processes and procedures, you already look like you know what you're doing, right? You
look very professional.
Right. So when you're like, oh yeah, I don't know how many dumpsters I have. Let me find that sticky note. That doesn't put faith in the customer.
If you're unorganized, they're already in the
right.
Up the phone.
So when you're like, hey, thanks for calling Yelo Dumpsters. Oh, you need a 22. You're like, give me 1 second. Yeah, perfect. I got 6 on hand, or I got 1 picking up today. I can bring you tomorrow. Like, so doing that builds more confidence in the customer. DRS has been awesome. It also came with the website. So they build out the website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they make all the integrations to where when the rentals come in, it automatically goes to the DRS tracking software side of things.
So that keeps everything right in one.
Keeps everything one thing. I got one app, and then it automatically sends me a text message and a receipt showing that orders have been placed. The other cool thing is DRS offered like an added package. It's called High Level. And basically it's a communication CRM for the customers. So that's where all my automation comes from, for like the Google reviews.
We touched on automation, Google reviews, fill us in on that as well.
Google reviews or texting my clients. I can text the client from that app. All the phone calls come in through that app. They're all recorded. That way, if I'm telling the customer, hey, there can't be any paint, it can't be this, this, and this, and this, everything's documented just for transparency and to cover us.
That's really nice.
Yeah, in the future. Or maybe they're like, yeah, hey, put the dumpster here, and I forget, right? And my driver's like, hey, where am I supposed to put the dumpster? I can go back to that phone call and be like, I know he told me. Boom, listen to the phone call, and then tell my driver, hey, it was supposed to be here. That's big. Today's world, like people want to text. If I miss a phone call, there's automations built in. It automatically texts that number. Hey, this is Deric at Yelo Dumpsters. Sorry, I missed your call. What can I help you with? And that way the conversation's already going while I'm either on the other line or something like that. I
mean, you're a busy guy. You got your hands in a lot of stuff, so maybe you can't always be on the phone, but the automation helps fill that gap.
When we go to deliver a dumpster, we hit the ETA button. It automatically sends a text to our clients. Hey, we're on our way. It just gives them that extra step of communication to where they know, hey, we're headed their way. Maybe they got to put their dog up. Maybe they're not home and they wanted to be home, so they run home, or whatever it may be. That line of communication, we always want it to be open for our clients. When we drop the dumpster, again, we hit a button and it just says, hey, thank you for your business. Your dumpster's been dropped. If you have any questions, please let us know. Boom. They can immediately text back and it comes right to my phone. I can get right to it.
One of the big topics that we see on all the forums, everyone's talking about insurance. Trying to get insurance on these trucks isn't the easiest thing to do. Obviously, you starting off with a truck. Can you fill us in a little bit about your experience getting insurance?
All of our insurance is $500 a month.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's truck, full coverage, everything. That's all of our dumpsters.
That's not bad at all.
No, not bad at all.
Is that through a company that you've worked with in the past? Is that?
Yep. Okay. It's a local insurance company to us. But definitely ask around, get quotes, ask the insurance straight up. Why do I need this? What is this? Is it required? Because if you don't have a good relationship with the insurance agent, maybe they're trying to sell you too much. Or if you don't know what you're buying, get the information, go to another insurance agent and put it to them and see what they say.
Tell the folks back home, that are getting started. Obviously, it's not, everything's not gold roads ahead. There's a little bit of trials and tribulations to that. Can you just give a little broad overview of your path, some of the downfalls and some of the successes that have brought you here today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not all unicorns and fairy tales and, making money left and right. There are a lot of failures and a lot of lessons learned and stuff like that. So that's just part of business. The number one thing that anytime you're going to go into business, you're going to do the research. You're going to take an educated guess on whether it's going to work or not. Whether that's buying a hook truck or buying dumpsters or, starting a wrap company or whatever it might be. I've bought buildings and, increased the value tremendously. I've bought buildings that are just not the best deals, but you just grind through it and you get through it. Obviously, the most recently I did a business deal that just was terrible. It was awful, but I made the decision based on the information I had provided. Without that terrible business deal that I made, I wouldn't be in dumpsters today, I don't think. So it helped me, figure out what I want in life, and I repivoted my direction of my thought process and who I am and what's important to me, which is my wife, my kids, my family, my home time, my home life, and building a business based on processes and systems and not built on me.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when I got in the dumpster business, it was really God-driven. The business is founded on faith. And when I went through that terrible time and all those lessons learned, I leaned on God the whole time. That's the only way I could make through it. And now here I am. And the dumpster business just keeps succeeding every month. It just keeps going and keeps going. So it's a new passion for me. And actually, you can see if you watch my Facebook post, my Instagram post.
Yeah, you're all over the Facebook.
Yeah, I put it out there all the time that I am so happy that I found this new passion because I just get so pumped every time I see a yellow dumpster.
Yeah, I can see it just when we even got here. Just from being with you today. You're very passionate about what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You built something really special here with Yellow Dumpster.
Yeah, thank
with
you.
DG Graphics. You're out here killing it in the Martinsville area.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone that's watching this video, so our viewers and subscribers, Deric's one example, but not to say that it couldn't be you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a million people out there. You have to have the drive, the ambition, to go out there and make it happen.
Yeah.
There's money to be made out there in this industry. You just have to put your boots on the ground and go out there, pull up your bootstraps and put the work in.
It's awesome to get the feedback too. We've had calls, where they'll call in and be like, hey, just want to let you know, I got a voicemail. It's like, hey, I just want to let you know, a yellow dumpster truck just passed me. And then my initial thought is, oh no. You know what I mean? Like somebody's calling in.
What did my driver do?
Yeah, I'm like, come on, okay. And as I listen to it, it's like, hey, I just want to say thank you. And I was like, okay, where's this going? And he's like, I just want to say thank you for your testimony. I think it's amazing to see a company that's, going to spread the gospel like this. And it was an awesome phone call for me to hear, because not only does, that makes me feel good, but it shows that the message is working. The dumpsters are getting in front of the people that they need to be in front of,
Yeah, you're putting the message that you're putting out there is being received.
Absolutely. So that's really cool. And like I said, God's going to put our cans where they need to be, and God's going to take control of this whole business and put it where it needs to be. Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. And, we're created to be the best version of ourselves. So just wake up and be better than yesterday. She does all the back end work for the business. So, bookkeeping, pays the bills.
So this is where all the magic happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she makes sure all the bills are paid, all the checks are written.
Very cool.
Yeah, she keeps up with all that. This is an extra office. We're going to be hiring a salesperson here soon.
All right.
This is my kid's office, so it looks about how it should for a kid's office.
Looks like he's been up to a lot of business.
Yep.
And this is probably one of the coolest offices. Deric let me in on this earlier.
Yeah, so this is where the magic happens.
Most definitely.
So, I don't like to go anywhere to get my hair cut, so we have a salon in the shop. That way, my wife used to be a hairstylist before she was a full-time mommy. And
we're all about efficiency, right? How more efficient can it get?
Time is money, so we save time. And then this is where the magic happens. So this is, obviously you saw it a little bit earlier, but this is our installation bay for vehicle wraps, upfitting.
Yeah, this is a beautiful shop, Deric.
Thank you. Dream come true. We built this addition last year, so this is a big goal of mine, and
it turned out great.
Yeah, definitely a dream come true for sure.
All right, Deric. So thanks for taking the time to show us around your shop here, give us a little bit of input about your business, take us for a ride along in the yellow dumpster truck. We had a great time here with you today, learning about your business. We appreciate the time spent, and we look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Sweet.
So, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Most definitely.
Take it easy.
All right, guys, if you like the truck that you saw in today's video, be sure to check out the description below. That'll take you right to our website where you can see more trucks like you saw in the video today. We have all the Hooklift trucks that can suit your needs. Be sure to check us out. Like Deric's success story and you want more videos like that, we're going to be coming out with a new docuseries that follows previous customers and their success stories. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching and have a great day.